And we're live. Look at that. Hey, everybody. It is the Kingpin of the Bacon Cartel, Jeffrey Schlissel here. And I got to make sure I got to do this right. Right over there, there's Chef Tara Abrams from the Crazy Uncle Mike's Brewery that's over in Boca Raton. We were just doing a little back and forth talking about some of the stuff we're going to be talking about live now with all of you. Tara was nice enough to join us because her sous chef was able, believe it or not, they're still working because they're adapting, and that's something that we'll talk about in a second. But let's talk about Chef Tara, where she's been and what she's done. So I got her bio. She is a respected member of the South Florida culinary community since 1997. I was very old at that time. Much like her cooking, Tara started from scratch, training with some of the South Florida's most touted kitchens, including 32 East, Tap 42, OTC on Brickell, and multiple JEY hospitality restaurants. And during her 4-year tenure with the hospitality group, Tara's expertise and knowledge were applied towards menu design, execution, and opening several new restaurant concepts. Tara thrives under pressure and has won several culinary competitions, including South Beach Wine and Food. You're the first person that actually got that right. It's not food and wine.
It says food and wine.
I know. I remember when it started in 92.
I remember going to FIU in the gymnasium when it started.
I remember when it was on First.
Yep.
In South Beach. So it's the Wine and Food Festival, Midnight Munchies, love that, Thrillist Barbecue Bash, and the Boca Bash in 2016. Hailing from Long Island, as my mother would say, and I'm having some coffee, Tara's culinary inspiration came from watching her mom cook, just like me. Together, they love to cook dishes for their friends and family, gathering everyone around the table in their home. Tara has always abide by the personal mantra, which is to always use the best quality ingredients and put love into each stir. Love that. At Crazy Uncle Mike's, Tara will be focused on an array of fresh, global-inspired cuisines and sourcing seasonal dishes. You know, and that's one of the things I really do love about what your cooking is all about. You and I know Chef Emerson over a Third on a Third. You guys go out to Swank a lot. I know you do a lot with Swank, and you go out there. I think you were just out there last week.
Yeah, just before all this happened, I was there for 2 weeks. I had done a brunch, and I did the She-Fest dinner March 1st. Yes, that was the last time I was there.
Right. Have you talked to the farm and asked how they're doing out there?
You know, Jody's adjusting too. You know, she does her side markets, but now she's having people pre-order stuff, and she's setting stuff up on the farm. She's letting, I think she said 10 people on the farm at a time. I believe she's packing up what she's calling Swank coolers. Everyone finds their cooler. They've already been prepaid. Out the door they go. So from what I hear, it's a nice little circle to hear how it's working out.
Right.
So I think she's adjusting. We're all hurting right now.
Right, and you were telling me before we went live, Crazy Uncle Mike's has been there about 1.5 years. Normally, that's when restaurants are gauging what they're going to do. You told me what was your trajectory?
We were skyrocketing. I mean, we were hoping to do 2 million this year. So we'll see what happens now. At that first 1.5 years, we all know is definitely the hardest, and we were right there. We were gearing up for our busiest week when we were told to shut down.
Which was March 17th, which, as everyone knows, St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
Now, how does it affect you guys? And this is what I thought was really interesting. You're not just a restaurant, but I know Mike's probably running around brewing beer, correct?
Yep. So we are a brew pub. So our license is actually on the restaurant side. So until all this happened, we can only sell our beer inside our building. We couldn't sell our beer to go. So one of the positive things for us is now we can sell our beer to go. So that's where we are pushing our sales on that side. Mike got into the beer. He felt there was a niche around here, and he wanted the live music, and he wanted the scratch kitchen, and he wanted the brewery all in one. And to make it a family place. He's a family man. He's got a few kids, so he wanted a place where everyone can kind of come together, drink their beer, watch a game. The kids can play outside.
And what I think is interesting too, I think the last time I was in there, I remarked there's every so often around, I think was it the chandeliers? There's different like motifs or whatever. What is that? What's that about?
Yeah, they're different artists, so different musicians, but all as monkeys, because monkeys is part of our theme. So we have who's in there? We've got Dolly Parton as a monkey, Johnny Cash as a monkey, Snoop Dogg, but a lot of the big stars, which Mike's friend actually painted all those.
That's really cool. That's one of the things I loved when I walked in, and it kind of just went beeline right to those chandeliers because they were very
Yeah, Mike had bought those wine barrels. They cut them in half, cleaned them, sanded them, painted them. It was quite a process.
Yeah, and I know Mike used to work, and I love his title, was Day Life and Nightlife of the Hard Rock.
Yes.
What a job.
Yeah, he was in charge of the entertainment nightlife booking, shows for the venue and whatnot, taking care of all the pool parties and all that kind of fun stuff, rehab back in the day, that big pool party. I mean, that was him back in the day. So, but he's always been a family guy, and he was kind of over the corporate stuff and wanted to do something local, and that's how we came here.
And you've been working for him now for the year and a half, and we were just talking.
I've been with him 2 years now. I started with him 6 months before the construction.
Right, and then developing the menu and such.
Yep. Yeah, we built this place together. I helped do the construction with him. I put these wood boards on the bar also. It was a fun journey for sure.
Now, you've been in the business quite some time now, and you're also a female chef. And this whole week, I've been talking to chefs in the business that are female at different stages in their life. Did you have obstacles that you needed to go above and beyond what your male counterpart would have gone through because you were a female?
Yes and no. I think I was always that strong, independent person, and no matter what, I always put my best foot forward. So I didn't really care whether you were male or female, and I didn't take BS from people, So my thought was, if you're going to try and show me up, then you're not very mature, and you're not the kind of person I want to work with anyway. I think I was really lucky. Like I said, I started at 32 East back in 1999 or 2000. That was a great crew to work for and with, and I learned so much back then from such great cooks and dishwashers and chefs back then that it really gave me my foundation of how kitchens should be. So there was plenty of times I'd walked into a kitchen, got hired, and I was like, these guys don't care about anything. So for me, it was all about integrity no matter what. So I just didn't take that kind of stuff, and I didn't care if you were male or female, so why do you care if I'm a male or a female? Like, we're here to do a job, we're here to put out good food, put out a product, and let's have fun doing it.
Now, did you have, obviously around mostly men, were there time periods where someone did something or said something that was inappropriate, and how did you handle that? I mean, the reason why I'm asking that is because obviously there are some people that are at the beginning stages that are female that don't probably know how to handle or don't know the trials and tribulations after the Me Too movement 2 years ago with John Besh and Mario Batali, and how it kind of escalated from that.
I think if you have a good leader that's in your management, you should be able to talk to them about anything and be able to go to them. I luckily was never sexually harassed or anything like that made me feel uncomfortable, but I have dealt with that situation as a manager and as a boss now, where I've had to pull people on the side and talk to them about inappropriate behavior, stuff like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you nip it in the bud as fast as you can, right?
Absolutely. I'm not going to stand for that kind of stuff.
Well, and nobody should. It goes male way too. I don't think there's, especially if the person is of gay persuasion or whatever the background might be. I think it's, we're a family. That's the first and foremost, especially the shit that we're going through right now.
Absolutely. I think a lot of it comes from my grandmother was a businesswoman back in the 50s and 60s. So I grew up around that independent, strong businesswoman, and I saw her leading men back then. So to me, that was the norm. I didn't think anything was different. I saw my dad going to work and doing his thing, and then I saw my mom staying home and doing her thing. But like I said, I saw it all. So to me, it was just normal.
So you never thought to yourself, I've got to prove my worth because I'm a female. You just said, I'm going to let my skill set dictate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And for me, it's worked out for me, luckily. But
right. I mean, one of the questions I asked what's like the worst situation you've been in with a boss that you either completely just effed it up or not? What is some, and how did you handle that? Because I know we can be bastards.
I mean, look, we've all had issues with our bosses and our managers, and we've all messed up before. No one's perfect. We all have errors, you know. I mean, just today I had to have a conversation with my sous chef about certain things, you know, like we're adjusting right now, and I don't know. I think I kind of just I go with the flow. I really am one of those people. So I think for me, it's very easy to just deal with situations. Whatever's given to me, I just face full on. And I've always been like that. So I really don't even think about stuff like that.
But let's talk about the stresses that we're under too, because you mentioned, having to have a conversation with your sous chef and some of the certain things that go on when you're on the line, and we're all wired very much differently from the rest of the crowd. How do you handle the stress of, that printer? I love to say it, the printer broke, it won't stop printing. How do you handle that?
I'm a very laid back person. As crazy as I am as that crazy chef, when I'm not in my chef mode, I'm very chill. As I've gotten older, I've definitely learned to relax, not take it so seriously. Like, we're putting out food. I'm not stopping coronavirus right now. I'm just trying to put out food and make people happy. It's not, so for me, it's just pretty easy like that.
Yeah, and the switch, like you and I were talking about earlier, you went from trucking along having how many people on your line? Not on your total line kitchen were 7. And now you have your sous chef and you, and you're doing 90% of your menu right now to go.
Yes.
And then you're also doing some backfill. I know, like, you were doing tacos.
Yes, we did the supper party the other night, which was a huge success. I did 50 of the taco parties, which served 4 people. So to me, that was great. Tonight is a roasted chicken meal for $50. You get chicken, spinach dip, vegetables, rice. We're just trying to make meals that people aren't going to spend a lot of money. People have money, but they don't want to spend it right now. So if I'm trying to keep these meals under $15 per person right now, I think is a good goal. I know, like, all my regulars are really coming and get these specials, and that's great. So yesterday, I think I sold 10 of the big ziti family meals. 6 of them were my regulars, which I thought was great. Those are the people I want to be able to come and still have different meals every day, and not just come and have our burger that they have every day.
Right. And then one of the things you said, that you did an event where you were able to. Is this the event that you were able to hire back one of your cooks?
Yes. Yep. So I'm going to do one again next Wednesday, my plan is, and then next Friday is Good Friday, so we're going to do a big fish fry. We're going to push it out to all the local churches around here, and I'll be able to bring one of my cooks in again that day and be able to pay him and hopefully get him a nice cash tip too, and make him feel normal for the day.
And then what's really odd, or not odd, what's really awesome is how you guys, again, the flexibility that we have and what you are doing with Mike, you guys stream your bands.
Yeah, we've got an amazing stage. We've got an amazing sound and lighting system. And these bands, these guys work 5-6 days a week also, making cash money every day. They don't get the full paycheck salary like some of us do, in management. These guys are hurting just like our servers and our line cooks. So music is one of our 3 passions here, and we're just trying to keep it alive. I mean, we've got great lineups. I mean, 2 of my favorite bands played this past week, and I went home. I left here after my service. I went home, cracked open a growler from the restaurant, and sat on my couch and watched it. I loved it. It was awesome. I was texting Mike the whole time, telling him how awesome it was.
Yeah.
We're just trying to stay relevant, keep the brands going, keep them going also. It's art. Art's always going to be here, and we're not going to let that die.
No, and I think you're probably, don't misquote me, I think you guys are the only venue that's doing something to that extent. I've not seen
I know a couple of places are trying to do it. I don't think they're as intense as we are. My sound guy actually lives at the building, so he's here every day anyway, so he's still doing his business, and my marketing guy comes in, works from his computer at his house or wherever, and does his stuff there, and he's video chatting as the bands are going live, which is great. So we're still interacting. Mike gets up on the stage and says what's going on for the day, gives a little love, talks about specials.
Do you and Mike talk about what the other side looks like as far as COVID-19?
Absolutely, every day. Every day. Mike is a super, super positive man, which I think has definitely helped my life in the last couple of years. I think a lot of it has definitely made me more positive. And we're those people that are going to make this the best as we can. We're going to take advantage of every government program that's offered to us that we can possibly even apply for. So, you know, he's been doing that this morning, getting on with the banks and his attorneys and doing all that kind of stuff. And we've got goals to open up other concepts. So who knows, you know, out of this, we may very well be able to pay off some of our loans from here and open up a new concept. Who knows? You know, that's a positive road that we're trying to stay on right now.
Do you see concepts going away? Maybe QSR, maybe fine dining, maybe buffet. Do you see any of those concepts when you're looking around?
Well, I think it's pretty scary. Buffets are pretty scary right now. I mean, I personally was never a big fan of them. You know, I don't do buffets here. Even when we do large parties, I plate up, you know, say it's sliders. So I'll plate up 12 sliders at a time. There's no hot shapers. I'm kind of scared of that kind of stuff sitting around. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the QSR, the quick, absolutely, that's not going anywhere. Fine dining, unfortunately, has been dying for a while. I grew up in New York. I ate at fine dining restaurants, you know, probably a couple of nights a week. I had to put on my nice skirt and tights as a little kid, but couldn't tell you the last time I went to a real fine dining place where you had to have a suit and tie and, you know, white tablecloths. It's just not how it is anymore. And my sous chef had a fine dining Italian restaurant 5 years ago, and 2 years ago he closed it because it just wasn't going in that direction anymore.
Yeah, and you like, I obviously, because you work with Swank, do you work with any other local farms?
Not really. We've had a little farm back here in our little garden area. So one of my servers has a green thumb. So we've kind of always just had a little garden back here just for some basic herbs and stuff. But Swank's really been my number one that I've dealt with.
Yeah, and you know, most people don't realize the magnitude or the scope of, we're only looking at the 16% of the population that is employed by the restaurant industry, but we're not, you know, we're forgetting about that farmer. You know, and I don't know if you saw, was it 2 days ago, the Miami Herald did a thing about Di Maria tomatoes and R.C. Hayton farms, and millions of pounds of green beans are being just turned back into the ground, and it's heart-wrenching for me because, you know, it's about food waste as well and giving back to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when all this happened, I went into my walk-in and I started pickling a lot of stuff, obviously. And then whatever I thought was going to not make it, I gave to my staff.
Now, that's another thing, too, we were talking about, and we touched on it before we went live, the mental health of people in the industry right now. And I think the thing that scares the living daylights out of me, because you're supposed to be socially distant now, and you're supposed to be, you know, introverted when a lot of people aren't used to that, and that could cause issues. So tell me that story that you were telling me about your line cook.
So like I said, my guy, you know, he's full-time cook. He's been doing this probably about 10, 15 years. He's worked on cruise ships, casinos, hotels. You know, he's been around for a long time. He's been a sous chef. You know, lost both his jobs in one day. My boss, Mike, was definitely gracious enough to offer a free meal for every one of our employees once a day. You know, and I told him, I said, you look sad. I said, so just make sure you're coming in every day, even if it's just a, hey, chef, what's going on? And I throw you a burger in the back of your car and you sit outside and look at the palm tree. You know, at least it's just a different view. It's definitely you got to keep the happiness around. You know, it's definitely easy to go down that rabbit hole when you're an introvert, especially. You know, I think a lot of chefs are. I think a lot of people, we all know many chefs have way too many alcohol and drug problems, and I'm sure a lot of them right now are sitting sucking back that bottle right now, unfortunately. Every day I'm so grateful I get to come to work.
Yeah, we're pretty much waiting for that time period. I know with the American Culinary Federation, we have a board meeting right after this meeting with you, and we're talking about how we can help and fund our membership. And one of the topics I'll be talking about is that about, you know, the drug abuse, the alcohol. How many of us are reaching out to each other and saying, hey, how are you doing? There's not many, that's what we need more so now than ever, I think.
Once a week, I'm conscious about sending out, because I got a group text with my whole team, and I just sent a text out saying, pick a day. Last week I was like, pick a day you guys can all come by for 5 minutes, just all say hi to each other and grab a meal to go. I think everybody for that 30 minutes was just, they felt normal, and it felt good. And my guys even sent me texts on the side, hey, thanks, Chef, we appreciate that. Which is, I'm not looking for praise by any means. I'm just looking to take care of my team. I'm in the position right now where I have my job, so I'm grateful for that, and whatever I can do to help my team, which is my family. I mean, my sister's my next door neighbor. I haven't even seen her in 2 weeks, but I see my guys here, So I got to make sure I take care of them. They're always my number one.
Right. And you start service, like what time to what time do you serve?
So right now we're opening from noon to 10 p.m. Usually we used to not open until 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but we figured let's try and just get some, even if we get some lunch business. And every day, 11:30, I get a couple of orders, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And at least you're not killing yourself and working an obscene amount of hours, and you still are doing. I loved your story where you're like, yeah, we still have coronavirus and I still have inventory.
I mean, but like I said, I'm grateful my job's still going on, so I still have work to do, and I got to keep it going. I got to stay positive. And the normalcy, like the other day, I came to work. I wasn't even in the kitchen. I still put my chef pants on and my chef shoes on just to keep that normalcy going. Because if I don't, I'm gonna slide back too, and I don't want to do that.
Right. What about the vendors? How are they taking it? What are they telling you on their side?
What was that? I missed it.
How are the vendors taking it? Like your vendors, your broadliner. What are they saying to you about what's going on? How are they feeling about it?
It's funny. I've got 4 or 5 vendors that I'm really close with. That before this I would speak with every couple of days. One of my vendors still hasn't even called me. One of my sales guys. Yeah, exactly. So guess who hasn't had sales in the last week and a half?
Wow.
Yeah. One of my, my main broadline guys, every day, chef, do you need anything? Don't worry about minimums. I'll get you whatever you need. Something's substituted out. I already replaced it for you. My produce companies, Fresh Point and Scalise, they've been great for me also. Like I said, Fresh Point donated all that food last week. I mean, I literally cried when I saw what they brought to us. So, and then another one I had, one of my other purveyors was kind of my backup purveyor. He kind of became my number one because the other guy dropped the ball. All he had to do was pick up the phone and be like, hey, chef, are you guys still open? Do you need anything? What can I do for you? Nothing. Which, times like this, I don't know, you got to keep your stuff together, I would think. I've had even sales guys try and call and get new sales, and I'm like, this isn't exactly the time. I do appreciate that they're doing their job, and I totally understand that, but when my sales guy hasn't even reached out to me, I actually just sent his boss a text. I was like, dude, I haven't even heard from you guys in 2 weeks. I'm like, what's up with that? Yeah. Except for, not delivering this day. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there's some mandates by the government, I know, was like Wednesdays and Saturdays they can't deliver now.
Yeah, no more Wednesdays and Saturdays. Yeah. That's okay. I'm always that organized chef anyway, so I was always on my regular schedules. And right now I'm just adjusting, so for my bread, if I can't get it every day, I have a freezer, make sure I have a couple extra dozen burger buns sitting in my freezer. It's still freshly baked. I put it right in the freezer, and I know it's perfect for when I need to pull it out.
What would you tell an inspiring chef, either female or male? What would you tell them if they said to you, chef, I want to become an executive chef one day? What would you say to them?
I'd say find a mentor that's going to take you there. I was really lucky early in my career to find, I probably have about 2 or 3 people I really look towards in my career up until still now. One of them is no longer with us, but that I could still pick up the phone and be like, what can I do? Or, oh, look, remember when you taught me how to make this recipe? So I think really having a mentor or mentorship is huge in our field. I think that especially not going to culinary school too. I just had a degree in restaurant management on the front of the house side. So I think finding that person that wanted to teach me was huge. And I've told that to other people starting out too. Just find someone that's going to teach you and wants to teach you and be that sponge.
Right.
When I really started, I started as a food runner. And I would literally just stand there at 32 East and make little notes in my book like, okay, Jose had the hot pan, add oil, drop shrimp, so, and I was just doing that just because I wanted to learn how to cook back then, and then kind of just fell into that, so.
Did you work with JT?
No, I originally worked with Wayne Alcady, so that was even before Nick Forgan.
Okay. Yeah, because so JT's over at was at Sassafras.
Yeah. No, I was at 32 East. This was back in 99 or 2000, around 20 years ago when they had first started.
Wow. And now it's Big Time Restaurant Group is there, right?
Yeah, Eliza Bettis.
Yeah, Eliza Bettis, right. It was supposed to be one of those Louis Bossies, but that got messed up. Which you guys are not that far from Atlantic Avenue. Where are you guys located? So if somebody's watching, who doesn't know where it is.
Yeah, we're at 6450 North Federal Highway. So we're smack dab in the middle on Federal between Meisner and the Avenue. About 2 miles from the Ave and about 2 miles from Meisner, literally.
Right, and it's on the east side or the east side, right?
Yeah, east side. Yep.
Yeah, you can't miss it. It's a beautiful building. Mike did a lot of great work. As now I know you also did a lot of great work in there. Is there anything else you want to say to end this thing? Besides, we want to see COVID-19 go away.
I think everyone just got to adjust every day. Read the news. Don't take everything so literal. Kind of sit and have your conversations with your leaders in your restaurants, in your kitchens, or wherever you are, and have those group conversations. What are we going to do next? How can we improve everything? Service, the menus, getting the food out to the customers in a timely manner. Just, it's all about communication right now, I think.
One of the things that I meant to ask her, it just popped in my head. The gentleman that you said doesn't have anything to do now, and he's 15 years, worked on cruise ships, and was always doing something, had 2 jobs. Is that also an issue for us as cooks / chefs, that we're always doing something?
I think we're lucky that we're always doing something. I think right now, unfortunately, it is his downfall because he didn't want the responsibility, but he likes that lifestyle otherwise, so it's a hindsight. It's 50-50, it's all how you want your lifestyle. Me, I like the consistency of knowing that I'm going to the same place every day and collecting a salary from the same person for multiple years, Right. Some people aren't like me. I understand that. Right. I'm about consistency, though.
Well, yeah, most chefs want to be consistent, but they're really not. So somebody just asked the question, really one of my members. She said, how about the food delivery drop-off to keep people from going outside? So how is that? Do they pull up and somebody runs the food out to them?
So we have it set up 2 ways. So we've got a driveway where people can actually drive right up and we can drop the bag right off. If they want to come and buy a growler or some of the cocktails to go or anything like that, we've got big garage windows. So we've got one of our windows partially opened and the rest of the patio is blocked off. So they can kind of still come up to the window. You're still about 8 feet away between the bar and the person. So they can still order stuff through the window, still kind of have a conversation like a normal person, get their bags, and then leave themselves also.
And then when they're doing it, do they pay online? Do you have like Chow Now or Grubhub or?
Yeah, we're working with Uber Eats, Delivery Dudes, all that kind of stuff. A lot of people are really calling ahead. You can order on Facebook. We've got links now on Instagram and all the social medias. We'll take you right to our menu pages, the Google page, pay all through there. Some people are still paying with cash, believe it or not, but a lot of people are just calling ahead, giving their credit card ahead, which is perfect. No one has to sign anything, no transactions. Here's your receipt. We're good to go.
And you're still feeding that one meal a day to your employees. Now, does that count for also the servers, or is it just?
Yeah, no, the entire staff. One of my dishwashers just came in about 20 minutes ago. He goes, "Do you have any work for me?" So we're going to put him to work for a little bit today outside, just doing some maintenance outside, and I'll pack him up a meal to go, and he'll be happy for the day.
Right, at least something to do something, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to be getting bored. I mean, we all joke around, we want time off. Now here's a time off, and everybody wants to We don't know what to do with ourselves.
This is one of the reasons what I've done with my time off, because I was furloughed. I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to do the vlog and get people interested and, talk to people. Because like we said, you just never know what they're thinking and what they're going to go through. And do they want to drown their sorrow or take something to block out the sorrow? So if this strikes a chord with somebody, obviously we can do something. Where's the restaurant located? So John just joined us. It's on Federal Highway and in between Meisner and the Avenue. And it's on the east side of Federal Highway. More people. As you're sitting, where are you sitting in regards to the restaurant right now?
I'm losing it again.
You outside in the patio?
What was that?
Are you outside in the patio?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's nice outside. At least I can enjoy the air.
Right. I mean, yesterday was gorgeous.
We are grateful to be in South Florida. At least have nice weather to be outside, and I mean, there's only a couple of clouds in the sky right now. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah, I know. I think was it yesterday or the day before I saw you walking your dog over by the boat ramps.
Yeah, I live right downtown in Fort Lauderdale, so that's definitely a plus for me. That no matter what, how stressed I am, water calms me down. I might not be able to sit at the beach on the ocean, but at least I could sit on the river and watch the water, and that's kind of my zen place.
Right. And we all have to have that zen issue, right? To kind of decompress.
Yeah, and just walking my dog, just going for a walk. I don't even need the music, just clear my head, not even think, which is very nice and peaceful.
That's awesome. Well, Chef, I appreciate it. I know you got to get back to work.
My pleasure.
Have at it. Hopefully you're just ball busters today and you get swamped and the printer breaks and it's just spewing out checks left.
That'd be our dream come true right now.
Yeah, definitely. And if you need anything, God forbid, if the tables turn and things don't go the way they need and you need help or anything like that, please reach out. Whatever we can do to help out. In the meantime, let's get the community to help out Mike and you so that they can support local, number one. Number two, they can support somebody as yourself who's doing a fantastic job to try to keep their employees. I applaud you and Mike both for doing that. What a great testament to the, I guess what I always say, the restaurants are all the soul of the community. You guys are definitely part of that.
Absolutely. Appreciate that very much.
Definitely. We appreciate you. Have a great shift, Chef. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Ciao.
Take care.